Wait, no, what?
What? What have you got? Oh, Pepsi Max. Oh, thank you. Oh, I've always. Oh, sorry, man.
I can't believe that worked.
Yeah. Fuck. You know what we. Nobel Peace Prize.
Nobel Peace Prize, baby.
Dawn of discussion.
Hi guys, back again. We have an interesting one today. The what if scenarios of the film industry. So what if people didn't get certain roles, and what if certain films had never been made? What would the effect be on the film industry? So do you want to take it away?
I will take it away. How about, what if Jennifer Lawrence never did Hunger Games? Because that's her breakout role.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what would happen. The world would be a better place, probably.
It is a good point though, because like everyone is a fucking mega fan of her just because she happened to be in a film that everyone already, or a film that's based on series books everyone loved.
Yeah.
Anyone else literally could have been fucking casted in that film.
But not just that, but like after that, she started like doing this whole thing where she's like the cool girl in Hollywood. But it's always been such a fake performance,
I'm
isn't
down
it?
to earth. I'm one of you people. I eat pizza. You know, most people who are one of us don't say I'm one of you people.
Yeah.
Just say. Obviously,
Because
she has never said that.
most people say I'm one of you people, they tend out to be fucking extraterrestrial. So
Yeah.
maybe that's not a great thing to. And the thing about it as well is like she's gotten so almost influential in the film industry as well. She was the one who at some point came up to the producers of American Hustle and said, all my co-stars are making more money than I am. This is sexist. When really all of the guys that she was working with are far more popular and had far better negotiating agents.
Yeah, it's just.
It's all part of it.
There's no way Jennifer Lawrence on a performance level is on the par with Bradley Cooper, Christian Bale, Amy Adams.
Yeah.
Who all of which either Oscar nominated or Oscar winning. I think out of the three of them, Amy Adams is the only Oscar winner.
Probably, yeah. But more importantly, have well negotiating agents.
Yeah,
which means you need to get. But the point of the story is that through that scandal, she got even more popular, and now she's basically in everything you ever watch.
Yeah, man, she's getting paid shit tons for it, which is just bullshit. I think. I don't hate her as a person. I just think she's extremely overrated, and I just think people should stop the hype train about her because she doesn't deserve it. There are a bunch of other actors who are far more talented, who deserve the opportunities far more than she does. To be blunt, because I think
I agree, but this is not why she's awful. But what if she never did the Hunger Games and thus never got famous? What do you think she would be doing right about now?
I think she probably would have been in certain films either way, but I think she would have been typecast as the pretty girl.
You would have probably heard of her, but like, kind of forget her name every now and again, and people just go like, "Oh yeah, I think I know who that is."
I think I know what would have happened to her. She would have been in Transformers as the pretty attractive love interest.
I see that.
I could imagine. What would have happened to her? That would have been the direction she would have gone.
Because she would be so desperate, she would have worked on the Michael Bay film.
I'm not gonna deny, she's fucking attractive, but
yeah.
Well, I compared to a lot of other actors and actresses. I mean, like, we're not going to bother going into it. But, like, actually, no, to be fair, compared to Transformers actresses, she's nowhere nearly on that level.
Still an open invitation.
But, like, it's just one of those things where it's like, she would have been typed because she's pretty, she's tall. Let's be honest, she's got a nice pair, big tits, let's be honest. Well, bigger than most. Most actresses, oddly enough, I don't think have,
I don't know.
But I think she would have just been typecast. She would have been in things like Baywatch, Fast and Furious. She would have been in those action comedies featuring really pretty attractive girls. Probably more so Baywatch than Fast and Furious.
I think you're thinking too big, though. Like Fast and Furious.
Oh, yeah, okay. Probably Baywatch more so. She probably would have been in something like Baywatch. But she wouldn't have had the same success, and people would not have known her as well. And I don't think she would have got leading roles. She would have got supporting roles. She may have played some love interest. I don't even think she would have been playing love interest, to be perfectly honest. I don't think she's a good enough actress.
Not in the Silver Linings Playbook, for sure.
No, absolutely not. I don't think she would have ever even been in that film if she hadn't been in the Hunger Games, to be honest.
No. There you go. So much impact from one film.
Yeah. And to be honest, The films, in my opinion, aren't even that good. It's just simply because of the fucking fandom built those films. And I bet you if you talk to Hunger Game fans, they're going to claim that they're probably the best movies ever, or the best movies based on books. And I'm just going to simply say, no, Jaws and Jurassic Park are the best films based upon books.
If not, The Lord of the Rings.
If not Lord of the Rings, yeah, those are probably the big...
I am a fantasy fanboy and I'm not ashamed of it. Lord of the Rings may be the best films ever based on a book.
No, actually, I'm probably going to say, I think they are actually, that's a fair point, yeah.
Not just because they're great in story and everything, but also production value.
Production value. And I think,
directing.
don't they stay pretty true as well to most of the books as well? Not all
They-
the time, but
they
stay
have
pretty
to,
close.
Especially because, one book is put into 3 hours.
Yeah.
Because there's so much just going into
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Yes, some
Each
things
film
were
was-
cut out, but the majority is still there.
I don't think there was a single Lord of the Rings film under 2.5 hours, was there? I think they were all over.
Maybe
2.5
the
hours.
non-director cuts.
No, I don't even think then. I think most of them were about over 2.5 hours, anywhere between 3 to 2.5 hours long. I think most of them were. They were that long. I think because there was just so much story for them to get through.
Yeah.
Because 3 different groups
It's
of
good though.
characters.
It's never boring.
Yeah, and it was always Lord of the Rings will go down in history as one of the
Why are you
greatest
remaking it, Amazon? Why are you remaking it?
If you're making a spin-off series, to set in the past or in the future, fuck it, I'll give you that. But if it's just the same story, then yeah, why? Why would you bother?
But hey, speaking of Lord of the Rings, what do you think would be of Elijah Wood right about now if he had never done Lord of the
That's a
Rings?
good point. I don't know enough about him before Lord of the Rings. If he was was he an actor before Lord of the Rings? He was.
I think he was. He just wasn't doing all that much, and I think now he's mostly like playing parodies of himself almost.
Yeah, I think he is because I think he was in a few films, and I think the thing is he kind of retired off Lord of the Rings. I think we would have seen
Not
him.
surprising.
I think
He
we
was
would-
in The Hobbit,
Yeah.
obviously as Frodo again.
But he would have been in it for like just the first and the last film, wasn't he?
Yeah.
No, in the last film, I think.
I think he did a TV show at some point
I
about
think-
a dog that he imagined was a life-sized, human-sized dog that talked to him and smoked weed with him or something. Something like that.
Show, but yeah, I think he wouldn't have had the same success either.
Well, that you say that, but
But actually, no,
maybe
he probably would have. But he probably would have had to been in a lot more films before retiring off Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
He would have been in. We would have seen him in a lot more actually.
yeah.
Because I'm trying. I remember him from a few things. I remember he was in a trailer for a film where it's like the teachers and parents were being killed by their kids, and it was a comedy horror or whatever, where like the kids were almost coming like zombie like. And then it was a weird film. I don't even remember the name.
Yeah,
Of it.
I can imagine.
And the only other film I kind of remember him was in Spy Kids 3. When
I
he
don't
was-
even remember
When he
that.
was the guy. If anyone remembers Spy Kid 3, you'll remember him as the guy.
Need to rewatch that.
God, it's awful. It's just so bad. I rewatched it a few weeks ago. I was like, why did I do this to myself? Oh, I know
Oh,
why.
God.
Because it was fucking funny as hell. It's just so... The Spy Kid films are all bad, to be honest.
Isn't
Like,
it Antonio Banderas in it as well?
He's not in the third one as much, but he's in the first... And he's not even in the second one a lot. Actually, no, he's in the second one quite a bit, but he's in the first one quite a bit as well.
And
But-
Danny Trejo as well.
Danny God, who plays Machete. It's the same universe. You told me that.
yeah,
It
yeah,
blew
I
my
did.
mind because Machete's just so different from Spy Kids.
Machete and Spy Kids is the same Machete in Machete Kills.
My God, just such different universes.
It's the same universe. It's just completely
You
differently
know,
done.
the funny thing is, in the last Machete film, the kid who plays the sister in Spy Kids was in it as one of the villains, like one of the fembot kind of villain characters who he kills.
Give us
And
your conspiracy theories at
What a-
donalddisk@gmail.com.
What a fucking weird series! This is so weird. Oh my
Oh
God.
man, oh man, it's so good though.
Yeah.
Oh man, but hey, what about this one? If Antonio Banderas was cast in it because he was so wildly successful because of, and let me say this correctly, The Mask of Zorro.
Yeah, the Mask of Zorro, I think it
What
was.
if we never did that? Will we still make fun of him now? Would he be Puss in Boots in the Shrek
I was
franchise?
just thinking, he probably wouldn't be Puss in Boots. It would have been whoever else played Zorro. Fuck. That would
Yeah.
have been weird. I think he still may have had some success. I just don't think it would have been... It may have been still as big, I just don't think it would have been Shrek Because he was also in that Expendables film.
He was in the third one, which is probably the worst one.
God, what a weird... It's a strange career. Strange career.
Yeah. The funny thing, though, is those films depict this whole episode where it's like, what if these guys never did the thing that they were famous for?
Yeah.
Where it's like, well, they did the thing that they were famous for, and then they were forgotten about for like 20 years.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
Who else do we have?
Well, give me some.
I'll give you one. What if the Harry Potter, particular members of the Harry Potter cast, were never cast in Harry Potter? So, Rupert Grint, I'm going to say who plays Ron, kind of just drops off the map after Harry Potter. So
yeah, but he was a child actor, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was a child actor. So, and I think also obviously he probably retired off Harry Potter, but I feel like he just
makes sense.
Dropped off the map. And I feel like that would be a less interesting one to explore. I feel like the more particular ones would have been Daniel Radcliffe and Emma Watson, who weren't child actors. And I don't think they would be actors. Maybe Daniel Radcliffe would.
I don't think he would be though, because he became an actor specifically for Harry Potter.
Yeah, actually no, I don't think they would have been actors.
No.
Because Emma Watson ended up, she also while doing Harry Potter studied like fashion and stuff. So I think it's quite possible she may have gone into like the fashion industry. Daniel Radcliffe, God fucking knows where he like.
Don't know.
He would have been working at the McDonald's next door.
Maybe,
fucking who knows?
Well, that's the thing is we don't know because we don't know what he would have studied if not because he dropped out of school to do Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Like completely, he didn't really study after that.
Yeah.
And then he started doing all these films where he's like playing the devil or something, or
he played a guy with horns and shit.
Yeah,
he then played a dead body, which
is still excellent, by the way.
What was it called? The Swiss Army Man?
Swiss Army Man. Oh my god, that was fucking funny.
I hadn't seen that film. I wanted to after I saw the film. I was like, what?
It's so disgusting, but it's so funny in being disgusting. Actually, no, it's a good thing that Harry Potter happened, because otherwise this film wouldn't have happened, and I wouldn't be so wildly entertained.
I think actually a lot of the actors in Harry Potter they would never have been actors.
No.
A lot of them would never have been actors. I think Alan Rickman would have been, he would have found other roles. Probably still villainous.
Yeah, but he was famous for other things at the time as well.
No, absolutely.
He did Die Hard.
He did Die Hard. So that's why I said he would have probably still played villain-like characters. Michael Gambon, who plays Dumbledore, as I can recall, he probably still would have played. He still would have had a good career. The guy who plays Voldemort, can't remember his name.
Ralph Fiennes.
Ralph Fiennes, yeah. He
would have done, but that's the thing. A lot of people don't know that he did that, so it was practically unimportant to his career.
He probably still would have continued doing other things.
Plus, he's done other things before he appeared as Voldemort, because he only appeared as Voldemort in the fourth film.
Yeah.
So at that point, he's already done Schindler's List and
his career would have been unaffected.
The French Patient?
The English Patient.
English Patient.
The French Fuck off. I think like a lot of the main actors who were playing like professors and stuff, I feel like their careers would have been fairly unaffected by Harry Potter. Because those films didn't make their careers. The kids in the films.
The kids in the films.
They got basically a one-way ticket to success.
And most of them didn't really use it as well.
Yeah, most I
think out of all of them, I think Emma Watson is the one who's done the most until she got bested by Daniel Radcliffe.
Also, because I think if people don't know, Daniel Radcliffe became an addict while doing Harry Potter. I think either alcohol or drugs or both.
Which is not very surprising given the roles that he's taken on since.
And also success is like always. He's recovered now.
Oh no, I believe that.
Yeah, but I think the thing is obviously that probably had a toll on his career going further. I feel like that would have made it more difficult. Oh, so what was it? He was in a World War I film I really liked as well. I can't remember the name of it.
Imagine the Harry Potter set for the seventh film or something, and he's just on set, completely drugged up.
Expecto Patronum.
Yeah.
No, Daniel. What?
Oh, fuck you! I'm Harry Potter. I can do what I want.
Yeah,
Accio drugs.
Accio vodka. God, that would have
been so fucking hilarious.
Oh, that would have been funny and sad at the same time, but still funny.
Oh yeah.
Oh god, I have a couple more. I'll do one more and then we'll flip it back around. The next one I'm gonna save the biggest one.
Yeah, for after the break.
Yeah, but the next one I'm gonna do. What if Jurassic Park? Because the three of the ones I have are more about what if these certain films were never made. Jurassic Park is a big one. Especially for special effects. It pioneered special effects.
Not just that. It's great because Jurassic Park was so influential for all these amazing films, but also for all these horrible films.
Yeah.
Imagine, without Jurassic Park, we wouldn't have Sharknado. We wouldn't have Jurassic World as well. which isn't a terrible film. I'm just saying we wouldn't have that.
It's not as good as the first. I think it's better. It's easily better than the third one.
Yeah, but it's still like it's such a big thing. Still,
I think it's better than the second. Jurassic World would never have been made.
I think Steven Spielberg would be significantly less popular. Because this one is it's such a big childhood film for so many people.
That was a childhood popularity film. Whereas
Imagine
other
that.
Films are, if you look at his other like film career, you've got Duel, you've got Jaws, you've got E.T., you've got Contact.
No, that's Robert Zemeckis.
Yeah, there was another one he did that was similar. I'm trying to remember. It doesn't. He did Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
He did.
Oh, the Close Encounters of the
Close
Third
Encounters.
Kind.
There we go.
That's the one.
That was the close. Yeah, that was the one I was thinking of. Also, he did Bridge of Spies. I think he still would have made a lot of these films, but Jurassic Park, in terms of just impact, would have had an impact on other films and other people's
So many
careers.
filmmakers nowadays cite Jurassic Park as one of their influences as well.
Yeah.
Just seeing and imagine as well Jeff Goldblum. Man, he would have probably been nowhere without that film. And we wouldn't have the amazing I saw an interview of him that was fairly recent for the new Jurassic World game, and dude, the guy is so hilarious to watch in interviews because he's just doing whatever, you know.
He Jeff Goldblum's.
He's playing a character in life.
Legend.
He's amazing.
He's a character. He's a real life fictional character in a weird way. And I think also another big aspect of Jurassic Park, despite influencing certain people's careers, is it was one of the very first films to do a mixture of both practical and CGI effects in one.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of the very first few films to do that, and it really pioneered that in particular sense, because obviously other films had done CGI beforehand, which was what you had and afterwards with Star Wars, you know, the prequels and shit.
Yeah.
But Steven Spielberg showed people how it's supposed to be done. It was not meant to be one or the other. It was meant to be a mixture of both. It was meant to be a collaboration.
Exactly.
Of CGI when necessary, but practical effects when possible.
Yeah.
It was like if you have a scene where the whole T-Rex is in shot, the whole of its body, CGI. Obviously, is the only way you can go.
But even if it's a CGI, just stop motion animated in front of a green screen or something.
Yeah.
That still looks much more impressive than a big CGI thing.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously, then you had practical effects when you can.
Yeah, when the car is supposed to smash by a foot.
When the T-Rex head
just
came
throw
through
the big fucking foot and smash it on top of the car.
Exactly. That was the thing that they kind of pioneered. And oddly enough, I like Jurassic World, it took out so much on practical effects in favor of CGI. And there was one practical effect, which was one of the dinosaurs that was dying and it looked CGI, which really bothered me. But it was one of those things where Jurassic Park was possibly, I think, in terms of our generation, it's one of the most influential.
It's one of the
probably,
biggest ones,
if not the most influential film of our generation.
Possibly,
not of all time, but of our generation at least.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that's a great moment to go on our little sponsor break. Today's sponsor, Mom and Dad, who said, "Dear God, what are you doing? We gave you all this money and this is what you wasted on. Get a real job."
It is a real job.
I do have a real job. This is just for fun.
I don't.
Love you.
I don't.
You don't have to love my parents. It's fine.
Yeah, no.
It's okay.
Fuck you, Mr. and Mrs. Ron. Fuck.
I'm not Chinese.
I'm not gonna
Ron is my first name.
I'm not gonna fucking learn how to pronounce your last name.
Anyway, that's our sponsor for today. And now on to the fan-submitted questions. That's all the questions we had today. If you want to send your fan-submitted questions, please send them to dawnofdisc@gmail.com or send to us on Facebook, and we will respond to them. Bear in mind, we don't have a lot of time for these questions because, you know, we have to get through a lot of stuff. So pick your words carefully.
Yeah. Typically trying to keep it shorter than 3 words.
If not, we, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the problem. We had one question and it was miles long.
Yeah.
So we're not, you know.
And it was written by one of us as well. So.
Yeah, so we can't really do that.
Yeah.
Cool. Back to our stuff. Let's dive into the music industry. Right.
Yep.
What if... I seem to recall that at some point there was a sex tape that made a particular person very famous. But if Kim Kardashian's sex tape never hit the internet...
what if this person never got into the porn industry would be a better question.
Did Kim Kardashian do porn?
Well, it's a sex tape that was leaked onto all the porn sites, so I guess in a weird way, kind of.
Yeah, I guess
She's rated on Pornhub as an actual porn star.
Okay, fair enough. There you go. If she didn't do porn, where would the whole Kardashian family be now?
I'm going to say quickly, as much as it's funny to theorize, like, what if it never happened, I don't think it's more of a if it would happen, it's a question of when. It was, to me, the Kim Kardashian thing was almost always going to happen because she's such a fucking attention whore.
Yeah.
And whore in general.
Well, she's
I
married.
think the timing perhaps may have paid some influence. Maybe she would never have married Kanye West. Maybe she would never have met Ray J or fucking God knows who else, you know?
Yeah.
But,
yeah, exactly. But like, what I think is interesting to think about is like the whole Kardashian/Jenner family is famous because of her.
Yeah.
So, would the whole Bruce/Caitlyn Jenner thing have had any impact on the world at all if she wasn't famous?
That's true. Yeah.
You know,
That's true.
that's an interesting thing to think about as well.
Yeah.
Because obviously that was hugely influential to the whole debate of transsexuals or
Yeah.
transgenders or whatever.
Yeah.
Which one is it? What's the difference? I don't think there is a difference.
Yeah, I think they're the same thing. Sorry.
Okay, well,
not you
either
only
way,
get you
either way.
transsexuals. I'm just tired. Them not being celebrities probably could have been perhaps one of the best things to ever happen to the world.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they are. We would probably never have gotten the Keeping Up with the Kardashians show.
That's true, but it's one in a million.
Yeah.
I mean, there's also like Keeping Up with the Osbournes.
Yeah, I think
People like to keep up with famous families, don't
yeah,
they?
let's be honest.
Come on.
And I think it's, as like I said before, I think with the Kardashians, it was, if it wasn't her, if it wasn't at that time, it was more of not a question of if it would happen, it was a question of when. Because they're just such a fucked up family. It may have had a different impact, but...
Yeah, here's the thing. We wouldn't have never had that weird Pepsi commercial. Remember that Pepsi commercial with, I think, Khloe Kardashian? Where, like, basically, like, these minorities with, like, signs are outside, like, protesting and the police is coming up to them. And then she comes out with, like, a can of Pepsi and, like, gives it out to people. And then those people give it to the police. And everyone is, like, happy and drinking Pepsi together. And everyone's like, what the fuck is this? That's not how we get peace. Are you serious? We just give Pepsi to everyone and everyone's like, oh, yeah. No, the police will cool down.
Why isn't America airdropping Pepsi into North Korea right now?
Exactly. Why don't they just, like, every time a police officer kills a black person, the black person just goes, before you shoot me, I have Pepsi and I am willing to share. And the police just goes, oh, why didn't you say so, my brother? Come on, let's have a Pepsi together.
I kind of want that to be an incident at some point in the States. Just want it to be a news headline, like, police doesn't shoot black person because black person shares Pepsi. could you just imagine, like, people, like, just afterwards, I'd just be on the train after having done this podcast, be like, holy shit, it actually works.
It actually happened.
Like,
inspired by the Khloe Kardashian.
Or like, I'll just go up to go, fuck you, you cunt. What did you say? Pepsi. Oh, cheers, mate. It's like, that shit really works.
Oh, dear Lord.
God, fucking, that would be...
Oh, man. That would be hilarious.
God, that would be weird.
Oh, man.
boy.
And that would be such an interesting debate between black and white people where they just go like, oh, you white people, you don't know the struggle that we go through because you can just pay off the police and nothing happens. And we just go like, yes, but you have Pepsi.
You can solve world peace. We can. We have Coca-Cola. You know what? That's good for what? Giving it to polar bears. Because remember that fucking thing?
Oh yeah, I remember.
Why? What? Off topic.
I remember the Santa thing as well.
Instead of milk and cookies, Coca-Cola and cocaine.
I never thought of it that way actually. Because it's the opposite, isn't it? Because it's Coca-Cola, which is representing the cookie, and cocaine, which is the milk.
But then you pour the cookie into Coca-Cola.
Is that how people take cocaine?
Well, remember I think it was a long time ago. Yeah, when Pablo Escobar was around, cocaine was actually put into Coca-Cola.
Huh. Where was I around then?
Well, it happened during the 70s and 80s. So
yeah, I was dead by then.
You were probably... Escobar only died in 93. He died not too long ago, actually. Like,
that's pretty...
That was almost within my lifetime. You know, another 2 years. And
that's like 25 years ago?
Yeah, roughly, yeah.
Huh.
FYI, if you've never seen Narcos, watch it. It's a great show. But anyway, moving on.
Yeah, anyway.
I've got another one. This one's more for a person's career, once again. Jaws. What if Spielberg had never made Jaws?
We're really riding the Spielberg train here, but let's be honest, he was one of the most influential
He
filmmakers.
is probably, I think, after Hitchcock, I would dare to say he's probably the. Actually, no, after maybe Stanley Kubrick. Actually, those three are the big ones.
I think so, yeah.
Kubrick and Spielberg. But if Spielberg had never made Jaws, obviously he still would have made Duel. I think he still would have had some success, but I don't think he would have. I don't think he may have even achieved the same level, because Jaws was a film that made people literally stop going into the water because they were scared.
Yeah.
It was such a powerful film.
Oh man.
Like, that level of fear for an audience to take away from one film and say, I'm not going in the water because there could be a... And, like, you could be in the fucking, country of Finland and going, I'm not going in the water. It's like,
Yeah.
it's
There's
Finland.
fucking sharks in there.
There are no great white sharks in Finland. And they're like... I saw
It made me.
Jaws.
I watched it
I'm
once.
risky.
It made me so scared to go into the sea that I don't even swim in GTA 5. To be fair, there's sharks in GTA
To be
5,
fair, there are sharks in
and they will eat you.
Yeah, I had a similar reaction. I think everyone, when they first watched Jaws, has a similar reaction where they just don't want to
Yeah.
go back in the water.
Mind you, I was 20 when I watched that film.
I was much younger than that. I think I was like 14, 15, and I was scared shitless. It is such a good film, and I think first off, Jaws may have been made regardless. I didn't think it would have been nearly as good
Yeah.
or influential, because Jaws paved the way to a lot of other films being made. Alien is Jaws in space. Let's be honest. And
Basically,
it
yeah.
basically is, and Alien may still have been made regardless. It may have just taken a different tone and style.
Oh, dude. What if James Cameron never made Terminator?
God.
Oh, we wouldn't have Arnold Schwarzenegger right about now.
Oh my God! Holy shit!
I just thought of that.
Fuck.
We're going absolutely off script right now, but Schwarzenegger, I didn't even think of that, because Schwarzenegger is such a big deal because of Terminator.
I'll be back. You
Everyone knows it
and he
because
would never
of
have
I'll
been
be back.
and
Hasta la vista, baby.
Wait, was it Terminator then Predator? Because I think it may have been Terminator then Predator. Because I don't think then.
I think Predator was less influential to his career, though.
True, but he may not have been in Predator if it was afterwards, which I think was
True.
probably one of the other
True.
big Schwarzenegger films. I think Terminator is his biggest, without a doubt. But when you look at his other big films, Predator is probably one of the top 3 other biggest films he's ever done. And along with that, probably maybe... I think that's it. I think, oddly enough, that is his second biggest film ever, because people remember, get to the chopper!
Oh, yeah.
Get to the chopper! If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Schwarzenegger is so quotable, you know?
He's the most...
Put that
Put the
cookie
cookie
down!
down!
It's not a tumor!
Start a tumor!
Oh, man. But I think Hasta la vista...
I'll be back.
And I'll be back at baseball. By the way, fun fact: did you know that Hasta Vista Baby in the Spanish version isn't that?
Probably not.
In the in every version in the world he says Hasta la Vista Baby, but in the Spanish version he says Sayonara Baby. Because otherwise it doesn't make sense. Like,
Yeah,
why is that
obviously.
such a big thing?
Otherwise, it'd be like, who cares if he says hasta la
Huh?
vista, baby?
You know what that means?
Oh.
Spanish people watch the wrong version. It's gotta be Hasta la Vista Baby.
It's gotta be. It's for sayonara. If you'd said sayonara in the English version, it still would have been sayonara, baby. It still would have been just as. Arnold Schwarzenegger can make any terrible line sound fucking amazing.
Oh yeah.
It's still funny as hell, but it'd be fucking.
You
and
know
it'd be the
the-
most quotable
The
shit
scene
ever.
as well, I don't remember which film it is, but like where he has like a boot and he pours like cocaine out and he goes, cocainum. We'll link the video down below of like 50 of the best Schwarzenegger quotes.
Oh yeah.
There's a part 2
There's a
as well.
lot of them. There's a fucking lot of them.
Oh man, it's so fucking
But-
funny.
back on script about Jaws in terms of style. And
Yeah.
I think Spielberg, because he's such a great filmmaker, would have had success in his career regardless. I think because he's just so good.
You say that, but Jaws is known to the world as one of the first big blockbuster films.
That's actually no.
It's the inventor of blockbuster films in a way.
Jaws was the first successful summer blockbuster film. Everyone said it's crazy, Spielberg. You can't release a film during the summer. It will never work.
People won't watch it. They've got better stuff to do. They're gonna go to.
They're gonna go outside. They're
They're
gonna
gonna go to the beach. It's all a marketing campaign.
Don't go to the beach.
Oh my God.
Go to the cinema because you won't get eaten by fucking genius.
Spielberg knew this. He knew this.
Fucking genius.
Ah, my brain is melting.
My God, he's intelligent.
Oh my God.
That probably.
Because then everyone was too afraid to go to the beach, so they
What?
were like, "Oh, well, what do we do now? Oh, let's just go to the cinema instead."
Yeah.
He's a genius.
Yeah, because in the end, if Jaws never been made, or if not by Spielberg, like I said, he probably still would have had relative success. Maybe not on the same scale. I doubt he would have made Indiana Jones. I doubt he would have made he would never have made Jurassic Park. I bet he wouldn't have made those films. He may have made films like Close Encounters of the Third Kind. He may have made those more stylistic.
Maybe,
but that's a big maybe. Or he may have made different kinds of films in general.
You probably wouldn't have made Jurassic Park without Jaws, though.
No, absolutely.
Because they're too similar, and I feel like if he didn't have the confidence that something like Jaws would work, you probably wouldn't do Jurassic Park.
Yeah. Also, the other major thing is the biggest part that would have affected cinema is releasing. As we just stated, it was the first big summer blockbuster. If it hadn't been successful, studios may never have released films like Avengers or whatever during the summer. They would have still been autumn, winter, and spring. Summer would have been the dead month or dead period.
Yeah, that would have been insane.
Suicide Squad would never have been released during August, so therefore
it would have never been successful.
It would never have been successful. What other films like June? I think
the entirety of the MCU really.
The MCU would never have had the same success.
You had one-off films like, for instance, Black Panther was released in February and it did really well because of all the hype around it. But the majority of the films, Iron Man came out in May.
Infinity War was originally
Infinity War is coming out
in
close
April
to May
now,
anyway.
Which is still
Guardians of the Galaxy was released in August.
Superman Man of Steel was released in August.
The Spider-Man Homecoming, as a matter of that, I think all Spider-Man films ever released were around like the summer area, July, August-ish.
Like
it makes sense.
It would have changed cinema as we know it today. It would have. The more you think about what Jaws did, the more you realize, holy shit, if this film had never existed, a lot would be different.
Man.
Like, style of filmmaking, certain films may never have been made. Summer season would have been probably dead to films. It would have just been a period for Oscar bait films to be released because they know it's not going to be successful, it's just a time to release them.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, I think studios typically release Oscar bait films in seasons which aren't the biggest ones simply because they know they're not.
I think they're usually released around like February as well.
Yeah, like that's
because most of those films only really come out after the awards actually happen.
Because let's be honest, because after Jaws, the two big seasons were probably autumn and summer.
Yeah,
probably the two big ones. Spring and winter were kind of like you can do it, but winter is like Christmas time and no one wants to do it because
we still get Star Wars during winter nowadays.
I think Star Wars is in
but that one would be successful anyway.
Yeah, it would have been. But oddly enough, I think Star Wars is kind of the new Jaws in that sense. It proved that it can be done, but it needs to be a particular group of films. Whereas spring probably would have just still be fairly quiet, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Therefore, autumn would have been the period where mainly blockbuster films would come out in. Because if it's raining and you're like, oh, what are we gonna do today? Let's go to cinema and watch a film.
By the way, you say that in Christmas, films aren't really popular. Actually, not entirely true because America, around Christmas, there's a thing called Jewish Christmas, which is that Jews are often kind of like not really doing the whole Christmas thing.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And then, basically, what they want to do is like go out and do something, rather than stay in. But most places aren't actually doing anything because it's Christmas, so they're closed. Cinemas, however, are still open. Yeah. So Jews all go to the cinema.
Yeah.
In other words, if you want to have a successful film during Christmas season, make one for Jews.
Yeah.
Do something great like that. Maybe a Hanukkah film for Christmas. Jews will go see it with their little boxes of takeout Chinese food. That's what you need to do.
Yeah. I think that's what they would have done if Jaws hadn't been successful, proving that kind of stuff could be done.
Yeah.
Because I think
make Jaws Jewish.
Because I think in the end, the reality is Star Wars: The Force Awakens. If Jaws hadn't been made, Star Wars: The Force Awakens, if it had still happened, that is, may not have been released during Christmas time. No. It may have been released at a different time. But seeing Jaws proved it could be done, and Disney probably went, it's fucking Star Wars. People are going to go and see it regardless, no matter what time period we release it. Let's release it in Christmas because no one else does it. Let's do it then.
Yeah, to be fair as well, like, ever since I was a child, it made total sense for me to, like, release all the blockbusters during summer because that's when the kids have summer holidays.
Exactly.
And that's when people have the time to go see to the cinemas, whereas April is a horrible time for cinema films because that's when the big, like, final exams are.
Spielberg probably did it for two reasons. First off, to try and get people out of the beaches and into the cinema.
Exactly. Yeah, that's my favorite conspiracy theory of this whole thing.
That's probably your favorite, but the probably more logical reason why they did it is he was probably thinking, let's release it during the summertime. Everyone going, why are we doing this? It's crazy. It's financial suicide. Him going, no, listen. It's summer. Yeah, everyone's on holiday. Yeah, no one is working. No one has reports to do, exams to write. No one has anything to hand in.
All they
They're
have
all
is
free.
time.
All they have is free time to go to the cinema. Maybe not on the day it's released, but eventually, within its release, they'll see it.
Exactly.
And then the studio probably thought, that's fucking genius, actually. It's a good point. It's a really smart... It was a good move by him. Thank God he did it. But,
well, and with this big mind blower, I think it is well timed to end this episode.
Yeah.
But if you want to explore more what-if situations, I've got a good recommendation for you. It's called Chrononauts, which is a card game completely based on undoing big historical events, such as undoing the Kennedy assassination, undoing the explorations to space or whatever, and basically fucking up history. It's a really fun game. You can pick it up in some card game stores. I think there's one in Camden that's really good, and it costs about maybe £15.
Yeah, there's also, like, I think there's a few YouTube channels that also do, like, that are mainly just focused on doing, or not mainly, but a lot of the bulk of their main content is on, like, what-if situations. I know there's one channel that does it for Game of Thrones, one for Star Wars, one for a lot of other things. And it's just very interesting often enough if you guys wonder, like, oh, what would have happened if Anakin Skywalker won the battle with Obi-Wan instead? You know, it's just good to see that kind of stuff, because then it's just interesting to see what possible... And first off, obviously, if you don't think that's the way it would have gone, these are what-ifs. You know, your what-if would be different, of course, but...
Yeah. Plus, what does it matter?
Yeah.
I mean...
It's just interesting
it's
stuff
fun
to see. I like watching it. But anyway, yeah. Yeah.
And with that, we leave you. Thank you very much for watching again, and tune in next time when we... I don't know.
Discuss something else.
Probably something about Superman, probably.
Yeah, probably something about Superman.